Argentina under Juan Peron. To start, Juan Peron was the populist dictator of Argentina from 1943 to 1955. He first rose to power in 1943 when he took over the Department of Labor via a coup d'etat by the Grupo de Oficiales Unidos, a secret officers' lodge that overthrew the Concordancia government. Eventually, he made the Department of Labor into the Ministry of Labor and Welfare and began making reforms through it. He enacted protective legislation that improved the working conditions and wages of women, established a minimum wage for piecework produced in the home, supported legislation that required equal pay for equal work in the textile industry, and encouraged workers to organize. After World War II ended in 1945, Peron began focusing more on developing internal materials exports. While Argentina had little competition because the rest of the world was focused on improving their own socio-economic reconstruction, trade declined. As this happened, state benefits and subsidies increased. Peron attempted to industrialize the country. Unfortunately, agriculture suffered and the nation's economic system was disrupted. Under Peron, Argentina accumulated a large amount of foreign debt and was on the brink of bankruptcy.
Peron then moved away from Argentina's economic issues by enhancing justicialismo and suppressing his growing opposition. Justicialismo was his version of justice for all, which developed Argentina as neither communist nor capitalist. What were some of his tactics in suppressing his opponents? Well, he took over La Prensa, which was Argentina's famous newspaper, and used the National Liberating Alliance and federal police to intimidate his political opposition. Torture, imprisonment, censorship, purges, and exiles.
Those thoughts of you keep taunting me. All by myself.
He aimed for social reforms afterwards and was quite successful in doing so. Trade unions were formed in every industry and education was made free to those who qualified, especially with the help of Eva Peron Foundation. Eva Peron was Juan Peron's second wife, whom helped the orphans, elderly, disabled, and the poor. She also founded the Peronist Feminist Party, which mobilized women to support the Peronist political platform. She was known as the spiritual leader of the nation. Going back to Peron, he also universalized Social Security. Workers especially benefited from this because they were guaranteed medical care, an 8-hour workday, and had the ability to make complaints to the labor courts, which was established during Peron's ruling. Paid vacation became standard and half the expense of their vacations were covered. Workers' recreation centers were also built all over Argentina, which were places where the workers were able to relax at a low renting price. Low-income housing projects were also created. Overall, his social reforms were a success, but angered those who didn't quite benefit from them. However, he did try keeping that anger under control by promoting his pliant bureaucrats.
Faded wedding photograph, you and me in our first dance. Our eyes are closed, we're lost in one sweet.
However, with the death of Eva Peron, his support began to decline, most especially with the disapproval of the military when he restructured his focus and turned to dependency on foreign powers due to the economic crisis instead of continuing his efforts to keep Argentina independent.
You're not the one for me.
His policies were influenced by third position that combined both capitalist and communist ideologies. It was used to avoid Cold War tension. However, while USSR relations improved, relations with the US deteriorated. There was growing alienation among the local agricultural ruling classes and industrialists or the military. That eventually teamed up against him and made way for his overthrow. He settles in Spain until he is invited back to Argentina and was re-elected in 1973 with Isabel as his vice president. He dies a year later and Isabel takes over as president of Argentina. However, she too is overthrown after 2 years.
Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go.